going on, YouTube? Can you see that? I just broke my chair, so hopefully I don't go ass up tonight and end up on the damn floor. We might have some feedback in the audio tonight, I'm not sure. I've moved my fan from behind me to up high pointing down, and I am wearing the lab steel, so hopefully that stops the wind blowing on the microphone there. I put some filters on for last night's or the night before stream, hoping to make the audio better, but when I watched it back it turned out that the audio was way worse. I don't have any headphones here that I can double check it, so I've turned the filters off tonight and I'll play with them another day. Definitely sounds like there's some feedback in the audio my end. I'm not sure if it's my audio or the stream's audio. So tonight we've got a R33. This is the recirc version. This is the last one I've got to weld on this. Just testing the audio without the lav plugged in. As always, welcome to Adam's troubleshooting tech stream, where we do a little bit of welding. The audio remains the same. Sorry about that popping, plugging the mic in and out there. Pop this on and see if we can fix it with that. Just wait for the stream to catch up and we'll test that. I'm about 30 seconds or so delayed. Okay. So we'll go here and do this. So that's using an AI to try and suppress the audio. The AI hasn't sort of learned, or I can't really teach it how I speak. I've just switched it to non-AI. See how that goes. Let's try one more thing. Let's go here and let's try that out. So yeah, there is about a 30-second delay, so we'll get crappy audio back and forth until I figure it out. That seems like it's a bit better. Maybe. We've got one more try. We'll just drop it down here. See what that sounds like while I clean up this part. So yesterday I welded a whole bunch of mild steel parts. I have some mild steel gloves and I totally forgot to switch out to them, so I used my aluminium gloves and destroyed them. So tonight we are cracking a fresh set, and this is about 2 weeks too early. I think that audio sounds okay. I think that sounds okay with the audio. I'm going to leave it at that. So I'm just running a noise suppressor to block out that background noise of that fan. So without it, it sounded choppy to me. The noise suppressor is a little bit taxing on my CPU, but not too bad. So I have adjusted the stream to do all its rendering through the graphics card instead of through the CPU, because the graphics card was going unused. I'm just going to sharpen up this tungsten as well. There's a lot of things that I should have got done before the stream started, but today was a chaotic day. I don't have a camera over here, so you guys can just listen to me sharpen a tungsten. So I sharpen my tungstens on an Ozito drill bit sharpener, and what I've done, it's actually off Thingiverse, but I have adapted it a little bit. Where are you guys? Over here. So I have this 3D printed attachment that goes on the front of a drill bit sharpener, and it just allows you to put some collets in. So these are a number 17 torch collet, so a larger collet. This one that's all the way in, I've heated up and pushed in, and then if you don't heat them up, they just sit out like that. I forget the angles, but I'm pretty sure that this one that I use the most is 30 degrees. And then you can just square off the end and get a 45 and probably a 15 or something. $50 for, I wonder if I can get you to see it this way. Alright, you can see that. So this guy here, a Ozito drill bit sharpener, comes with a coarse diamond wheel. This thing off of Thingiverse, I've got this shelf magneted on because I'm not sure where these are going to live ultimately in the shop. But you also get exposure of the diamond wheel at the top there to be able to clean the tungsten off. I also have this little 50mm grinder, which I have a grindstone on to clean off any bad deposits on the tungsten, and then I have a diamond wheel and a diamond cut-off wheel on this far side, so I can clean the shaft of the tungsten, and if things are too hairy, I can use this cut-off wheel, diamond cut-off wheel, to cut off the tungsten. That's my tungsten sharpening setup. I don't know if getting like the Milwaukee cordless one is for me. I kind of like having that little station over there that I can go back and forth from, and having those options depending on the state of the tungsten. So something like this one, for example. Everything's the same colour. See all the deposits on that? Like this one got pushed straight into a weld puddle. So over in that station, I would try and clean that off on the coarse wheel, and then if it didn't clean nicely, I would cut the tip off. Because I think with a cordless version, I would only have the option to cut it off or grind it far too much. Just my thoughts, my 2 cents, whatevs. Alright, so we've got a R33 recirc catch can, and step 1 is going to be welding in this filter cradle. Let me get you focused there. So filter cradle, just up through here, I've got a large-ish gap. The rest of it, the fit up, looks really good. So we're just going to get straight into it. I've got a couple of little bits of tungsten left over from last time. So we're going to start by closing up the corners. And what am I using? I've got this camera before. It's like right as my countdown timer for the stream start, it was at 17 seconds. And I have a inline circuit breaker on the welder, and periodically it trips when I turn the welder on, but once it trips once for a day, it never trips again. It's really weird. And it actually tripped 17 seconds before the stream was about to go live. So it was like a mad dash. And when I've got all these lights and cameras and stuff set up, there is not there's not good access anymore. So here we go. So we're actually going to weld this on a pulse setting. So we're running at a 1 second pulse, 60% on time. Got 120 hertz, negative 28 on the AC balance, and we're running a square wave. The max amps are 150 on this pulse setting. Obviously using a foot pedal as well. Here's a short piece of filler rod to do these tacks in the corners. And just check that. Check the gas flow, since the last job I did was mild still. It's quite a lot cooler today than it has been the last few days. So I just set that to 7 litres a minute on this gauge. And what do we need to do? Let's jump over here. Get you in focus, and we'll put your little welding helmet on, and let's get into it. Alright, we can lift your helmet up now. Get you back in focus. So I had a little bit of a blowout over here as I was going through that real thin section. It wasn't the big gap section, I don't think. No, it wasn't the big gap section. Just the heat got away from me as I came around there. Not a big deal. Still sealed up beautifully. So I'll flick to the bottom now. So I have already welded this seam, so this is generally the next thing that I weld. I was actually playing with some settings the other night, trying to weld another catch can, and I had two things I wanted to test, and I didn't get them done on the one can that I was doing, so I actually welded this one just to test those settings. And I did have a stop-start along there as well, where the fold was there was quite a large gap. But you can see the etch line there of the start-stop, and there's a little bit of lump in the weld. So the next step on this one is to weld this double curve. And I'm just going to close up this gap where the seam is and where the start of the roll is there. And this is just a big solid brass round. Doesn't actually leave any contaminants in the weld. So it makes a really good little hammer, little peen hammer. So I'll switch out my prop, my straight prop for my curved prop. And this is just a Manfrotto. This is the 327 HD. It's either a light or a camera stay, which I just have clamped to the workbench, and then this one's a tight one, but I just have this this camera attachment that goes onto it here, and I've 3D printed these little slip-on attachments to have these welding rods, these prop rods rather, swap in and out, and they're just a 10mm. In this case, it's titanium, but generally I would use aluminium to make these rods. I just had these rods left over from my old welding prop, so I fitted them to my new welding prop. So we're going to travel. I'm going to travel up in this direction. I might just bring you around over this way. Sometimes when this camera gets a little close to the welding action, it decides to shut off. Get you guys in focus. We'll put your little welding helmet on there, and you can see in the little view there that I'm going to weld this straight section, then I'm going to weld this first section of the curve, and then I'm going to weld the up section. So in 3 bites. Let's go to a welding view and watch me go up here. First, I'm going to switch to a straight amperage instead of a pulse setting, which this is 105 amps, 120 hertz, and -25 on the AC balance, and a square wave setting. welding helmet off and let's check that out. Got a really nice weld across there. Nothing, I had a little bit of blowout as I was coming along down here, and I'm not really sure why, because it was really good fit up. Normally I weld this bottom section, so might have been an amperage issue on my part, but just slowed down a little bit and got the result that I was looking for. Looks really good actually. So I'm just going to go and weld these two vertical parts, and you guys are going to be able to see both of those. Actually, I'll probably turn that. So that inverted camera problem I always have. Get you in focus. G'day Chris, how you doing tonight? I keep doing that, leveraging on a 3D printed prop arm. Alright, you guys can see, we'll pop your little welding helmet on and get it working. Alright, okay, you guys were a bit too close and lost your viewing privileges. See if we can get you back. No, we can't. You're still there. No, I'll have to unplug you and plug you back in somehow.